today.
Hello. Words paint the picture of the life you would like to live. I've made videos before on like spells. Like I literally, I feel like, I don't know, 98% of the world is absolutely unaware of how potent words are. Words create your freaking reality, you know? And like I said, I've made videos on this before, but like, just be wary of what you're speaking into existence. And I'm not even talking about what you're saying like outwardly. It's like inwardly too. The inner world, most especially. It's like, what are you telling yourself? What kind of dialogue is running through your head? Like, what's going on in there? Are you mostly, and you know what, like honestly, a telltale sign of the type of spells that you're casting upon yourself and others, it can be gauged by what you are experiencing in life. So like for me, and I know because I used to be there, I was there before I was like self-aware. I was, I was actually, it's funny. I think I was under the influence of everyone else's spells. Societal spells, familial spells, when you have a friend group, their thoughts become, I want to say, a hypnotic tonic that distorts the way you view reality. So, it's just, that's why, like, for me, like, isolation is so important. And I've mentioned in other videos, too, that, some people may claim that isolation is, unhealthy, but how? How is it unhealthy? I mean, I feel like, like people think about it. Like, if you can't be alone with yourself, if you constantly need to be around someone so that they can regulate your nervous system, you're not able to self-regulate and you just can't be alone with yourself. It's just like, I think that's the issue. I mean, think about it. If isolating yourself was so toxic, why would monks do it? Why would like highly spiritual people who like, are trying to like maintain their connection to the divine or the most high apt to doing it? That's why, like, for me, I question so many things in society. Like, there's so many things that we have been socially programmed into believing that, which is a spell, by the way, because, they're like using their words to kind of like dictate how we program our perception. When I look at like what's going on socially, I automatically question it. And, luckily I was blessed with the ability to go against the grain because I feel like, most of the people, they live in the world, but for me, it's like I live in the world, but I am not of it. They're completely living in it and of it. Like, for me, it's just like, it just doesn't make sense to follow, herd mentality when it's literally distorting my ability to maintain equilibrium within myself, and it's also hindering my ability to, I want to say, cleanse and detoxify myself of belief systems and mental constructs. And and if you think about it, a lot of the thoughts aren't even yours, especially when you haven't been on or haven't even started the path of spirituality. I just feel like you're completely blind, completely ignorant, and completely like blindsided by like who you are and your function and how you're supposed to operate in the world, because you're going off of someone else's operating system. Think about it. Like when you're like being raised up as a child, it's like, I want to say the first influence is the parents. You're learning from your parents, like how to treat people, how to talk to people, how to operate, and a lot of times they're just kind of going off of what they've learned, and it may not be in the best interest to continue such things. A lot of things are outdated. We're like practicing a lot of outdated systems that literally need to be discarded, and like for me, it's like the more I isolate, the more I get clear on, like what's mine, what's not mine, what spells have I been under, and, just kind of like purging myself of things that are definitely not beneficial to my well-being, and definitely, not in alignment with who I want to be and how I want to operate in the world. You need to give yourself that time, and stepping away from relationships. It doesn't have to be forever, just giving yourself that time to just step away from the social media, step away from the telephone. I feel like the telephone is, oh my God, the ultimate spellcaster. You're being bombarded by like infinite amounts of like information, and it's just like when you're bombarded in such a way, it's just like, how can you even see clearly? How can you even think clearly? How can you differentiate and disassociate from things that are obviously not healthy for you? And I don't know about you guys, but it's really funny, like the algorithm. It's really interesting. I will, on occasion get a sneak peek at the algorithm of other people's, on other people's phones. I swear to God, the phone is a control agent, honestly. That's why for me, I step away from it. I don't want to be codependent on, someone else's technology that's trying to basically like act as a mind control agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to be able to like think freely for myself and unbind myself of anything that is restricting and limiting. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the phone. Yeah, it's just like if the algorithm, like sometimes I'll take a sneak peek at somebody else's algorithm, and it's interesting. Like I'm just gonna say what I see, but a lot of it is like violence, or like a lot of like sexualization, like half naked women, doing strange things with their bodies, and consumption of all these like poisonous foods. Food is medicine. It's like, people don't want to like wake up to the reality, because when you wake up, it's kind of like Neo in the Matrix. It's really uncomfortable. You like get shaken to your very core when you realize that everything that you've been living is a lie, and you've been following the lies of the people around you, so for me, like, I feel like the most peace and the most clarity when I am by myself, when I am in isolation, and it is a necessity for me. It's like air, it's like water. I need that. I need that time to just be by myself, unbothered by, the external voices of the world, and, so that I can properly assimilate, my own voice, and, take stock of what I want to integrate and what is no longer integratable for me, because it like bypasses my standards and my integrity to live a full and wholesome life. So just be wary of your words. Also, like, when I go out in the world, like, it's really funny how, like, most of the interactions, I want to say, not all, I want to say, like, I come across, like, a generous amount of people, since, I'm very particular about when I socialize and how I socialize. But, a lot of people are, like, looking at life through a very negative lens, and, in previous videos, I have stated that I always look for the silver lining, because, everything is temporal, and, why are you going to hyperfixate on something that obviously, isn't going to induce positive change? just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, do you want to be happy or do you want to be unhappy? Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be unhealthy? Because your choices dictate that kind of life. And, the dialogue and the words and the thoughts that you're allowing yourself to consume paints the picture of the life you want to live. Yeah, well, I guess that's all I have to say, but I want to say thank you for stopping by, and, thank you for just being here. Remember, take time for yourself, take time to take care of yourself, take care, to be present in every moment, because, I don't know, like I've noted that when you allow your mind to travel to past events, it's like you're in a perpetual loop of, like living an aspect of life that no longer exists. You can't go back, you can't change it. And when you're in a state of mind where you're constantly like trying to like formulate the future, it's just like you're living in a realm of existence that hasn't even arrived. And you're basically, it's a misuse of imagination, because you're basically, I notice like normally when I like try to formulate a plan for the future, it's coming from a place of control and fear. It's definitely not coming from a place of trust and grace. So like in the present moment, life is happening, life is unfolding. It's like to be in that flow, to witness life unfolding effortlessly with grace. That's where you will like find it, is in the present moment. It's just, it's really hard for a lot of people to be present. One, because they haven't been taught to. Two, because they have been conditioned not to, So it's like, break out of conditioning, break out of like outdated belief systems, and stop listening to what everyone else, the million and billion and one voices that are telling you how to construct your reality. It's like, no, you construct your reality. You get to choose, take your power back and wake up from the deep slumber that they've put us under. It's like they've kept us sedated with their spells, and I feel like they want to keep us sedated because you're less, you're more controllable when you're under that kind of like manipulation. Anytime anybody is like altering your perception of reality through their words, through their beliefs, through their energy, that it's absolutely manipulation. It's definitely a sedative, and it's definitely keeping you asleep so that you're more controllable. So your energy can be siphoned to create the reality of someone else. It's like dark magicians have ruled the world for so long. It's like, become the high priestess or the magician a magician of light for yourself and for others. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. Have a beautiful day and stay blessed. Amen.